Hello, I'm President Barack Obama. And I've come down here to Main Street, USA to explain to you why my comprehensive health care reform package is so great. You see, we passed the comprehensive health care reform package back in April. But despite a multimedia propaganda campaign spanning more than 6 months and costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, the majority of the American people still do not believe that my comprehensive health care reform package is going to help them. Well, the reason is that it won't. Now, I have to level with you. Most of you will get screwed by my comprehensive health care reform package. Most of you are going to end up paying more for less coverage than you have right now. Many of your employers will stop offering health care coverage altogether because it will become too expensive. That means many of you are going to end up in government-run health care programs sponsored by the state you live in. In a short while, those state programs will face collapse because of the increase in enrollment and inability of the states to raise taxes to pay for those programs. Not to mention, there is already a shortage of primary care practitioners. In Massachusetts, where they passed a comprehensive health care reform package 2 years ago, you have to wait a long time just to get a routine physical. But that's okay, because the important thing was to pass a comprehensive health care reform package so that we Democrats could say that we passed a comprehensive health care reform package. And we did. So, now we can say that. Now the Republicans want you to think that my comprehensive health care reform package is going to cost the federal government a lot of money. And they are right. Almost all of the deficit savings projected by the Congressional Budget Office under the comprehensive health care reform package result from 3 or 4 provisions of the bill. Of the many hundreds of sections in the bill, just 2 sections cut out $288 billion from the Medicare program. Usually when the federal government tries to take money away from Medicare, the seniors get all upset and Congress puts the money back. If Congress puts the Medicare money back, healthcare reform will turn into a big money loser by about $173 billion. Besides that, state obligations under Medicaid and Child Health Plus programs are projected to increase by at least 75% and may even double. A lot of states like New York and Pennsylvania can't meet their budgets and are having trouble paying their bills already. New York spends 40% of its entire state budget on Medicaid, and under my comprehensive health care reform package it could be as much as 70%. But that's okay, because our grandchildren are the ones that will have to pay off that money and we'll be on Medicare by then. Now you probably find it hard to believe that Congress would pass a bill that made such far-reaching and drastic changes to our healthcare payment system without even enjoying the support of a majority of the American people. The truth is that Congress didn't care much about the support of the American people. What was important was that we got to say that we were the ones passed a comprehensive health care reform package and made things better. As the Vice President of the United States said on an open mic, this is a big fucking deal. Now, I've said many times that my comprehensive health care reform package will allow you to keep your coverage if you like it. That is a lie. The reform bill changes many of the fundamental aspects of your coverage and raises the premium. It does this even if you like your current coverage. Now, let's say you live in a house. You like your house. Then I come along and say, you've got to add a second story, and you have to change the windows, and you have to paint the whole thing purple. And it's going to cost you $300 a month more than what you are already paying. If I made you do that, could I then say you can keep your house, if you like it? No. If I make you add a whole floor and paint your house purple, it might still be a house, but it's not your house anymore. It's just my own idea of what your house should look like. Now some of you might be saying that even though healthcare reform isn't good for all of the people, it's good for at least some of the people. And Congress was able to weigh the pros and cons and make a reasoned decision about it. But that also would be a lie. Most of the Democrats in Congress voted for my comprehensive healthcare reform package because they are Democrats. Most of them never had read the bill before they voted on it. Most of them probably still haven't read the law. But it was a big fucking deal for Democrats to pass comprehensive healthcare reform legislation, so we did. And when you think about it, what difference would it have made anyway? Now that I've told you the truth about healthcare reform, I hope that you will support me and my fellow Democrats in our efforts to drag down every profitable industry we can get our arms around. After all, we all know that making money is a bad thing, unless you are the director of the White House Office of Health Reform, in which case making money is just great. Did you know that Nancy Ann Minda-Parrell, who is the director of the White House Office of Health Reform, received more than $5 million in consulting fees from healthcare businesses in the 3 years preceding her appointment? I myself don't think that money made a difference in what she thinks about healthcare reform. You see, people who are much more intelligent than you are, like Nancy Ann, can separate their ideologies from their realities. That is called being a good leader. I'm about out of time now. I would like to thank you for listening to this message about healthcare reform. I'm sure that, working together, we can continue to make the necessary improvements to our healthcare system to make it the best in the world. Like France's and Cuba's healthcare system. I think more people would go to Cuba to get good health care if only the Castro brothers would let them. And of course more people would go to France if we all spoke French. I probably wouldn't go to Cuba, though, unless I needed a good cigar. I'm President Barack Obama, and I approve this message.